Political action committees, PACs as they're known, are one of the strangest creations in American politics. On paper, they exist to give ordinary citizens a voice and support candidates who align with their values. That's the official story. The real story, they look very different. When you strip away the patriotic language and the legal jargon, PACs function as a financial bypass system, a way for the wealthy, the powerful, and the well-connected to pour money into elections while pretending they're following the rules. To say it a different way, it's a way to cheat. PACs didn't appear because democracy needed them. They appeared because donors needed a workaround. The government set caps on how much an individual could contribute directly to a candidate. So the political class built a side door. And of course, the politicians for sale have bought it ever since. Just check the record. A PAC can raise far more money than any individual could legally give to a campaign. And because the money is routed through an organization instead of a person, it becomes easier to hide who is really funding what. The public is told PACs are necessary because campaigns are expensive and candidates need support structures to compete. In layman's language, that means the playing fields are equal. And who wants to play by that rule? If you can't beg, borrow, or steal more money to fund your campaign than your competitor can, that's no good. The simplest solution would be to raise the legal donation caps or publicly funded campaigns. But that's no fun when all things are equal. You have to cheat and get the added advantage. So instead, the system created a parallel universe of political money, one where rules are flexible, the oversight is thin, and the donors are shielded from layers of paperwork. PACs are not about transparency. They're about plausible deniability. The wealthy donor doesn't hand a check directly to the candidate. They hand it to a PAC. The PAC buys ads, hires consultants, funds issues campaigns, and pays for messaging that just happens to benefit the candidate. Everyone involved gets to say, we followed the law, and technically they did. But the spirit of the law, limiting the influence of money in politics, is completely erased. And then we have the super PACs. No shame in that name, is there? Super PACs take this even further. They can raise unlimited money from unlimited sources, including corporations and billionaires. The only rule is they cannot coordinate with the candidate. The candidate can publicly announce their strategy, their talking points, their needs, and their weaknesses, and a super PAC can independently act on it all. The justification for super PACs came from court decisions that treated political spending as a form of speech. The logic goes like this. If money is speech, then limiting money is limiting speech. And if limiting speech is unconstitutional, then the government cannot restrict how much money flows into a political campaign of messaging. That argument might make sense in a courtroom, but in the real world, it means the loudest voices belong to the richest people. PACs are not necessary for democracy. They're necessary for those who want to influence democracy without appearing to influence it. And the idea that regulations prevent abuse is equally flimsy. Money in politics is like water. It finds cracks, and it even creates more cracks over time. If a PAC cannot spend money on something directly, it will spend it indirectly. If it cannot pay for a candidate's travel, it can pay for issues awareness events. If it cannot fund a campaign staffer, it can fund a consultant who just happens to work on the same messaging. The label's changed. The spending doesn't. The system is incredibly corrupt, but it's a legalized corruption, blessed by the very people who benefit from it. Lawmakers write the rules that allow PACs to exist. Courts interpret those rules in ways that expand PAC power. Consultants, strategists, media buyers, they make fortunes operating inside the loophole, and everyone involved has an incentive to keep the system exactly as it is. And the news organizations, they play along because PACs mean big-time advertising budgets. Spent where, you ask? News organizations and their parent companies, that's where it's spent. Are you connecting the dots yet? And if the public is left with the illusion of choice, elections look competitive, ads look independent, donations look voluntary. But behind the scenes, the same small group of donors funds both sides of the campaign, hedging their bets to ensure that no matter who wins, their interests are protected. The question isn't why do PACs exist? The question is, why would the people who benefit from PACs ever get rid of them? PACs are not a flaw in the system. They are the system, a system where influence is purchased, access is negotiated, and political outcomes are shaped long before a single vote is cast. And the irony is that the entire structure is defended as free speech. But for most Americans, speech is a voice. For the wealthy, speech is a checkbook. And PACs are the megaphone that amplifies the checkbook into pure and aggressive political power. This is the part the public rarely sees. Individuals routinely give $100,000 plus to PACs, not corporations, not unions, not nonprofits, individuals. Why? Because PACs, especially super PACs, can accept unlimited donations from unlimited sources with minimal restrictions, with no cap on spending. A single wealthy donor can write a check for $100,000, $250,000, $500,000, $1 million, $10 million, and it's perfectly legal. The justification is always the same, but the effect is always the same too. A small number of wealthy individuals end up with massively outsized influence. And then we have the predictable pattern of greed, power greed, individuals creating their own PACs. This is even more revealing. Wealthy individuals often create their own political action committees. Why? Because if you create the PAC, you control the message, you control the spending, you control the consultants, the strategy, you control the influence, and you can fund it with your own money. This is the political equivalent of, if the rules limit what I can do directly, I'll just build a side door. And that's precisely what they do. And who's going to stand in their way? Some PACs are literally founded by one billionaire, one industry magnate, one ideological donor, one celebrity, one business owner, one activist with deep pockets. The political action committee becomes their political instrument, not a grassroots movement, not a coalition, not a community voice, a tool. So why do PACs exist instead of just raising donation caps? PACs exist because raising donation caps would be too obvious. If Congress openly raised the limit from, say, $3,000 to $100,000, the public would revolt. They don't have that kind of money to spend and buy votes on Capitol Hill, so instead, the system created a workaround. Keep the donation caps low. Create PACs as a legal alternative. Let wealthy donors give unlimited money indirectly. PACs allow the political class to say, we have strict limits on donations, while simultaneously allowing unlimited money that can still flow through a different pipeline. PACs cannot give unlimited money directly to a candidate, so they can spend it on ads, messaging, mailers, digital campaigns, issue advocacy, opposition research, voter outreach, polling, consultants, all of which just happen to benefit the candidate that they support. The rule is no coordination, at least not that can be seen out in the open. What do you think really happens behind closed doors? Spending coordination is defined so narrowly that it's meaningless. A candidate can publicly say, we need more ads in Ohio. Our opponent is attacking us on health care. We need to reach suburban voters. And a PAC can independently act on every bit of that. If a PAC can't pay for travel, then they simply pay for an issues event. If a PAC can't pay for staff, then they simply pay for consultants. If a PAC can't pay for ads, they simply pay for public education campaigns. If a PAC can't pay for polling, they simply pay for research. Labels change, the spending doesn't. The system is blessed by those who benefit. PACs are not an accident. They are a deliberate structure created and protected by lawmakers, courts, protected by donors, consultants, strategists, media buyers. Everyone in the system benefits. Candidates get support, donors get influence, consultants get paid, courts get to defend free speech, parties get power. Do you see the greed yet? The only people who don't benefit? The ordinary voters, small donors, people who think elections should be fair. PACs are not necessary for democracy. They're necessary for those who want to influence democracy without appearing to influence it. They exist because donation caps exist. Wealthy donors want more influence, and they can afford it. The courts simply treat money as part of free speech. Is that laughable? PACs are the legalized workaround that keeps the money flowing while keeping the public confused. Folks, at Greed MRI, we scan the world for hidden greed, so you don't get played by the story time after time. Join us every day for our short and our long videos on key topics. Thanks very much for watching, and subscribe to our channel for free on YouTube at Greed MRI.